What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back because I think I've got a team that can do this stage right here. I think we've got one, and I think a lot of you guys can probably put this together. Now, the assists all look very familiar, but the adventurers, they're a little bit unique. Let's talk about what they do, but first I'm going to tell you what Memoria I'm using, okay? So, Memoria-wise, I've got SAH charging. I've got light and dark attack turns 6 to 10. That's really where we're going to be doing a ton of damage. But also have strength turns 8 to 15. That's literally all of our damage. 90% of our damage is done on that last 8 to 12 turns. That's the vast majority of it. So we're going to do as much as we can from this point to that point. Kind of until then, we're just kind of chilling. So let's go ahead and jump in here, and I'll talk about what the adventurers are doing, why I've chosen these adventurers, and kind of the special conditions under which you're going to have to pay very close attention to these teams. So number one, we're going to come out of the gate with Haruhime's SAH charge. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? That's understood. We're going to be using that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do skill 2, which is the general buff stack with both Lazar and with Finn. And the eyes that I'm using here does 2 turns of physical nullification. Now, you don't have to use this eyes. There's plenty of other units that do this same thing. Just find somebody that nullifies 2 turns. There's adventurers, there's assists. Just find somebody that nullifies 2 physical attacks and use that person on the first turn. Because Balor, when he hits, is designed to basically one-shot as many people as humanly possible. He will kill, and it's going to suck if he does. Okay? That's turn 1. Okay? Turn 2 is another critical one. So Haruhime is going to go up to her buff-debuff replication. Kind of a no-brainer on that one. Okay? Now, Lazar is going to go ahead in here and do the strength and magic down 40%. We kind of already have that on the assist side. But the reality is, if he doesn't do that, the Bell, I don't know if Bell will make it. Because Bell is going to be, I mean, not fragile, but Balor hits really, really, really hard. So I think we're going to do that. And now normally I'd go over here and do the KO save, but I'm actually just going to go ahead and do the single target with Finn. Okay? And Bell, on the other hand, is going to come in here and do a physical resistance debuff. Now, Balor will remove debuffs, but we've got a really good one with Finn's SA, so I'm going to rely on that for the vast majority of my damage. So we're going to get an early physical resistance debuff with Bell, and then we're going to rely on Finn, basically, for the majority of the rest of the match. Okay? Now, that's very important. It is worth noting. Now, why does it make a difference? Honestly, it really kind of doesn't. It's kind of just an equal measure. But the only other, we don't really have a huge number of other options there. It just gives basically Finn another way to get some extra early damage in. Because on this turn, we're going to do Finn's SA. That's going to give everyone 66% SAH charge. Now, Fianna comes in. Fianna's going to do her her skill 3, give herself this 33% SAH charge. And once again, I'm going to come down and I'm going to do skill 3 here to give her a little bit of this defensive buff that Lazar can apply. Okay? That's pretty important. Now, Fianna's extra action will give her a buff debuff replication, just like Haruhime's doing with her skill 2. So actually, it's going to give Haruhime more options to kind of do her extra actions too. So we're going to pay very close attention to a lot of these situations here. Now, Fianna took a bit of extra damage there. That's unfortunate, but it's not world-ending. It's not world-ending. I'm going to take this moment here to talk about equips. Obviously, weapons-wise, you want your best weapons on these units. But as far as armor goes, I'm running stun armor. Now, Balor will stun and will poison. When he does poison, it sucks and it hurts. But poison is a little more survivable, a little easier to deal with than stun is. Now, you can run an assist that's going to reduce the amount or even nullify your poison. Personally, for me, I'm just going to kind of like brute force this. I'm going to be happy with what we got going on right now. So I'm just going to kind of chill, right? For me, this is kind of where I'm chilling. Stun anklets, that's all I've got going on. So now on turn 4, the one thing that's really interesting about that 66% as it gets charged, notice nobody has it yet. Because Finn isn't going to apply that until he does an attack. It's actually an extra action on his SA. So what I need to do is I need to use Finn's skill 2 to give him a fast skill. Now, everybody else is just kind of chill, okay? We have strength and magic buffs, so I'm going to use Fianna to remove those. Well, actually, I don't even think they're really that impressive. 20%? Nah. Well, she did get hit pretty hard. I'm going to remove him. I'm going to go ahead and just do her skill 2 and remove him. He's going to do his fast skill there. Fianna's actually is a fast skill. No matter what she does, it's a fast skill. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go ahead and do the single target attack with Lazar. And Fianna is just going to kind of continue on with Megiri. I could actually retire her and do her single target. It doesn't really make a difference at this juncture. It is going to be some good MP healing, so actually I'm going to do it on this turn. MP is not going to be critical, but little MP healing here and there isn't going to hurt, especially with how expensive Fianna's extra skills are. So there we go. Good attack there. Turn 5, I can just then go do all single target attacks. Don't really have to overthink this. Everyone's going to have 66% SAH charge, and we're going to keep that basically through the end of the match. So turn 5, all single target attacks. We're just going ham on our opponent. Okay. Now, turn 6 is going to get a little weird, but follow me. Okay. So, on turn 6, he is rebuffed, and we are actually going to have to endure another SA. So I need to remove those buffs, and thankfully, Fianna can do that. She says foes status buff and ally status debuff removal. We're not really... Well, actually, I take that back. We do have a strength and dark attack damage debuff, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. But 2 turns on this basically means when she gets her skill off, those are gone. So the buffs are going to be gone. Okay? So we will not have to endure those. Other than that, we're going to do just big single target attacks. Like I said, pretty straightforward. There's not really a huge amount to this build that's really all that cumbersome or scary. Okay? Now, after this, the debuffs on our opponent are going to be removed. Take a little bit of damage there, but I'm not overly worried about that amount of damage. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and hammer down. So we've got debuffs are gone. Let's see. I don't even necessarily need this. So I'm just going to go and do her single target attack. You know, we've got light damage 100%. I'm just going to do her single target. I don't think I need much of anything else from her. Her SA is an AoE, so it's not really mandatory. Finn, I want to get another SA off with him, but we need to make sure we get our debuffs out. So we're going to go ahead and use his debuffs. We're going to go ahead and use Lazar's debuffs. And Haruhime is going to go back to skill 2 to kind of do her thing. Now, Fianna, I could go ahead and rebuff that, but I think it's just going to be better to get her single target attacks out. I think her single target attacks are going to be way more effective than Haruhime's. And for that reason, I think Haruhime can kind of focus on doing her skill 2. Now, Haru, I'm going to need some counter heals from you, girl. Okay. So RNG sometimes is a factor here. I'm going to chalk this up to RNG because my Fianna is fully maxed out and good to go. Let's see. She's got a good physical stat there. I don't think we have a better physical stat around. No. So, yeah. And she's got really good equips. So we're going to try that again. That's why I say sometimes the poison can hurt. The poison is not necessarily comfortable. It's not life-threatening or life-ending most of the time. But, you know, RNG happens. You know, we all know that. RNG happens. So let's go back and rebuild this. And just kind of go from there. So 1, 2, 2, 1. Great. Okay. Then 2, 3, 1, and 2. Good times. All right. Then we've got 2, 3, SA, 3. Hope this is making a lot of sense. Ooh, 4.1. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. That's a great hit. Especially considering he's just going to get harder and harder, or hit harder and harder after this. Phrasing. Just because his SA does a better debuff than even what Bell does. So, turn 4. We're going to remove buffs. We're going to go ahead and do a super class attack. One thing I probably will need to do here shortly is go ahead and do the death saving throw that might have actually saved us. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out here shortly. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and go over here and do that. And we're going to keep McGeary in play at least one more time. Here we go. We will need some MP healing in a moment, so I'm going to go ahead and, after this, focus on Haruhime's single target. Okay. That is going to give us some MP healing. It's going to be quite nice. Lazar, I think, is going to need to redo Flash Leap. That's because this one is running out. May not have done that before. I don't think it's a huge issue, though. Finn's going to go ahead and do his single target. And Fianna, our opponent is not buffed, so we're going to do her big single target. Let's go. And you'll notice that Baylor is falling. Like, the health is melting away. Honestly, if they didn't make him a hard hitter and a scary mofo, this would be as exciting. So, it is what it is. I'll accept some of the RNG failures for what they are, on the grounds that our units hit hard. And I mean hard these days. Alright, so single target attacks. Fianna is going to remove the buffs that were just applied. Boom, they're gone. So, let's continue on. He's going to SA once again. Okay. Good times that. Good times that. Now, I happen to realize I've not yet done Lazar's essay. That's a problem. And that might have been kind of what caused the confusion last time. So what we're going to do is we're going to do skill 3 for his debuff, skill 2 for Finn's debuff. Fianna doesn't really have much to do. She really doesn't. I'm going to buff her extra action and do Megiri with Haruhime It's going to give us just a little something extra there. Okay. Excellent. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and do an essay with Lazar. That's going to give us 100% light attack damage and a physical and magic resistance buff. Also remove strength and magic buffs, but those aren't in play yet. And we're going to go ahead and do an essay with Finn, and that's going to give us a big hit and another big debuff. So, other than that, we're going to go do single targets with these two, and we're just going to go ham. I think part of the problem is last time I didn't do Finn's essay, or Lazar's essay. I think that's part of what cost me. That big defensive buff that Lazar does is massive in this. So, oftentimes I do that a bit earlier, but here I saved it up a little teeny bit later, and actually looks like, oh, Fianna. So yeah, I probably need to do Lazar's a little bit earlier. So we're going to go back in here, and we're going to do Lazar's a tiny bit earlier, just to give us a little bit of breathing room. So let's go back and do this. As soon as we get a second essay, we'll do Lazar's. That's just going to give us a little bit more breathing room, and we're going to do Finn's KO save. Those are two places where I know I'm being a little haphazard. So one more time. Third time lucky, am I right? I wish this was only the third time I was trying this. I've tried multiple teams, multiple builds. We've gotten up to turn 11, and then just he wipes us out. I think this team's going to hit a little harder than the other team I was building. So, I know it is. So this team's probably capable of like a turn 9, maybe even turn 10 kill. But I do want to still play it safe. I don't want to get haphazard. I don't want to lose just to basically me being cocky. So we're gonna play this a bit cool. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. Bell leaves. In comes Fianna. Fianna's skill 3. Finn will SA. He's gonna do his skill 3 just because that's gonna be a defensive buff, and McGarry's gonna stay in play. Okay. I think part of Fianna's problem is that she's not getting that defensive buff from Lazar early enough. So we're gonna just kind of give it to her as soon as we possibly can. All right. So Haruhime can actually go into do skill 4 here because the extra actions from Fianna are going to make sure that everything does get replicated. We just got a buff on Baylor, so Fianna's going to do skill 2 to remove those. Other than that, single target. And yeah. Oh, we're going to do the KO save here. We're going to do skill 3 with Finn to do a KO save, just to kind of give everybody a leg up. There we go. So we got KO save, the buffs are removed. Okay. And so now we just do basically all single target attacks. Okay. Okay. So now we've got an interesting choice here. Fianna can remove the buffs here, but honestly, Lazar's SA will too, and he does a defensive buff here, so I'm going to do Lazar's SA. Get us a little bit of extra damage out. I'm also going to do McGarry on this turn. Just try to get a little bit of extra SA or a little bit of extra, I guess, leeway on all this. There we go. That means everyone's going to get light damage 100%. Everyone should already have a strength and magic buff. It may not be the greatest thing. The question will become, why am I not doing it with Haruhime? And the honest answer is simply, shouldn't need to, I hope. Emphasis on I hope. Okay, so we took like nothing there, which is great. That's where I want to be. So I'm going to do Megiri with Haruhime, and we're going to once again go ahead and do our debuffs. So that's skill 3 with Lazar, skill 2 with Finn, and I can actually just do her skill 3 to get out some of that extra buff debuff. Or I'm saying, yeah, buff debuff replication. Okay. We're taking a bit more damage than I'm comfortable with. Ooh. Man, there's that poison again. You know what? I think this is the last turn of poison. Yeah. I'm going to rely on Haruhime to get rid of that poison. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to essay with Finn to get just an insane amount of damage out here. Wonder. Because that's going to hit him hard. You know what? I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I'm wondering if I do Haruhime's buff here, give everybody what they need. You know what? It's going to save us. It's going to wipe the poison. And it's going to add, let's see, I believe it adds ailment resistance. We're going to do that. Because then that will stop the ailments on turn 11. Or at least make them less likely on turn 11. So we're going to do that. This means all single targets here at this point. So debuffs are in play. And her extra action is gonna replicate those. So let's see here. So we'll get rid of our ailment. We'll add ailment resistance. We're going to heal up. And we're all going to hit harder. I thought that did ailment resistance. There we go. Or I'm sorry. I thought it did an ailment heal. There we go. We've already got another SA. So now we can do an SA with Finn. And see how much harder he hits. I'll do a single target with Haruhime. Let's see how this works out. It's a little different than the way I've done it before. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I think it was totally worth doing Haruhime's skill. Any doubt I had is gone. Any doubt I ever had was out the window. Now, he will SA here, so we're going to have to do the SA removal here. With her. Our death saving throws, let's see. They should be up. Yep. Our ailment resistance is 60%, so we should be there. So, yeah. Single target, single target, single target. And remove the buffs. So buffs are gone. We're hitting him where it counts. I think this is it. I think, honestly, the Haruhime buff made all the difference. That 7 mil SA, I mean, it wrecked him. Okay. Yeah, we good. So, single target with Haruhime. Actually, I'm going to do Megiri because I think, let's see, her extra actions are gone. So I'm going to single target with her. I'm going to do, so debuff, debuff, single target, and buff replication. Let's go. Whole goal here is to get to turn 12 and do an SA with Finn. Ooh, Haru. We didn't even need turn 12. There you guys go. There you go. The SA with Haruhime made all the difference, and I kind of counted that out. I know a lot of people can be like, it's a no-brainer, but doing more SAs sometimes with Finn would have worked out. But actually playing it a little safe with Haruhime pulled it out. So there we go. There we go, guys. There's your S clear. Let me know what you guys thought. Many of you, in fact, the vast majority of people can probably build this team. I'd be shocked if you guys couldn't. There's your S clear. And a turn early. Go get your rewards. Like, comment, share. Wreck all of these. I actually need to go beat that before tomorrow, but whatever. We already know that's going to happen. I'll catch you guys on the next one. It feels so good, guys. I've been working on that for a while. It feels amazing. Hit that like button.